यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and entire your family members and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 5 from 10th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Ahimsa Samata Tushtihi Tapodanam Yasho Yashah Bhavanti Bhava Bhutanam Mattayeva Prathagvidhaha. Bhagavan in the first 3 verses gave the introduction of this chapter. And what is the content? Content is glory of Ishvara. He began to say the glory of Ishvara from the last verse. In the 4th verse, he introduced certain nouns. Those nouns are indicating something is new, not as a Ishvara Swarupa introduced in the last 2 chapters, which is 7th and 9th chapter. Now he is introducing very much familiar to us. Buddhi is the familiar word. From Buddhi, Buddhir Jnanam Asammohaha Kshama Satyam Damashyamaha. All these words have been heard. These words are very familiar to us, and meanings also so more or less familiar for us. But the connectivity with these nouns are different. That's what I have not yet connected now. Let us finish these words. Then finally I will connect with Ishvara. How, what kind of Ishvara is connected with or explored in these 2 verses. Now in the last session we saw Ahimsa means non-violence. This Ahimsa is not a character or it is not a characteristic. It is a kind of a follow-up. It's a kind of anutthanam. It's a kind of implementing something. See, when every creature they want to live, they don't want to die. Okay, these animals, they kill each other for their survival. In order to survive, we can destroy others' nature, others' life. This is what the concept of the animals. But only the human being, we follow the concept of ahimsa. Ahimsa is paramo dharmaha. Therefore, he begins ahimsa in this verse. In the last verse, he began buddhi. Buddhi, which is a main medium of our system. Then again he continues with that ahimsa means a kind of non-violence. Non-violence with other creatures and non-violence to be absorbed with our own body, mind and sense complex. Sometimes people who observe non-violence, they observe non-violence with all other people, but they just collapse their system. Ahimsa must be followed with both aspects, with our own body, mind and sense complex and outer world. This ahimsa is the finest quality among the human being, which is to be followed. That ahimsa must be the supreme dharma. Dharma means to be followed, to be adapted, to be prized, to be endowed with. Therefore, ahimsa is nothing but me. Nothing but me means they have originated from me. Then samatha, equanimity. So many things are equal in us. Our hunger, thirst, anger, sleep, jealousy, all those things, they are equal in all creatures. Hunger is the same feeling, same experience with all the creatures. Equanimity in the experience level. Equanimity from the product level. All of us, we do have ears, they have hearing capacity similar. Animals, they also have their own organs, they are similar. This kind of equanimity in subtle things we have, that's also from me. Tushtihi means what? Contentment. The contentment comes because of what? If you have a proper food, you'll get contentment. Not always. If you get what you want, you get the contentment. Becoming happy is different than the contentment. Contentment means it won't come that much easier way. A mature soul can feel the contentment. Once you have done what to be done, you will feel the contentment. That contentment is me. It means it is from me. Tapaha, austerity, you can find only with a human being. That too not with all people. The people who wants to get growth in spiritual aspects, they go for tapas. And even demons, they used to do this tapas. Why? Because they want to gain more power. Therefore, tapas you can find among the human being. That's nothing but me. That's from me. Yashaha means fame. Becoming very famous is a kind of glory of Ishvara. Unless until you have the grace of Ishvara, you cannot become famous. Sometimes, you might have seen the people, suddenly they become worldwide famous. Nowadays, there are the connected world, net world. So now it is very easy. But in those days, Swami Vivekananda became very famous. Once he gave the talk in Chicago. He became worldwide famous. And there are people who get also notorious. That is also, ill fame. It's known as ill fame. Ayashaha to me. So when we do Sankalpa, so Yashash Virya Vijaya Ayil Arogyam Praptirasmi. So this Yashash is a good fame. Notorious means becoming ill fame. Both are nothing but me, from me alone. Bhavanti bhavaha bhutanam matta eva prathak vidhaha. In different way, the creatures, they have these qualities, they are from me. That's all. These two verses have been completed. Now we don't find anything. Why Bhagavan is saying that Buddhi is me, Ahimsa is me, Satyam is me? Why he wants to say that? Or he wants to say Buddhi is from me, Satyam is from me. Both are similar. It's me, it's from me. Both are similar. In this place, okay. Why he says like that? Because the God is introduced as Jagat Karanam in the previous chapters. I repeat again, God has introduced as Jagat Karanam. Ishvara means he is the cause of creation. Cause of creation means what? How he has become the cause of creation. There is the level, the cause of creation number 1. Number 2 level, number 3 level. Number 1 level is what? As the Nimitta Upadana Karana Ishvara. He becomes intelligent and main Upadana, material cause. Both together he becomes cause. He creates the world. He creates the world not immediately like throwing a ball. He creates the world first, the subtle world called Antara Prapancham. Before creating the body, The antara prapancha must be created. Now my question, a mother, when she becomes pregnant, the body is being manufactured in her womb out of her control. She doesn't have the control over that fetus that grows. Now when the mind is inserted in that, and many people say that when the baby starts thinking, because lungs are becoming activated once it comes out of the womb. That too, it should be activated when the lungs are expanded, baby cries. That's what the significance. So that's the signal that lungs have been activated. Lungs are connected with cry activity. But when mind has become activated in a baby's system, but Upanishad answers, so mind and buddhi and all these kind of subtle things have been created already. Now just this body, which is the shelter, which is the place to live, it is created at last. That is the ending portion of the creation of a jiva. We have to understand. The baby, when it was created in the mind of, in the buddhi of parents, both of them. So if they decide, let us have the baby, if they plan for the baby, at that time itself, this buddhi and every etc., all these things, in the two verses, whatever is told, have been created. Now you could see all these things, every individual we do have. That is the glory of Ishvara. So these all subtle prapancha which are created in the beginning, before creating sthola prapancha. Now also that's the routine. So before creating a boy, means the sharira for a jiva, this antara prapancha is created. Therefore, this subtle world, the antara prapancha, becomes base of this gross world. And this antara prapancha becomes the elder world, means it becomes senior than the sthula sharira, sthula prapancha. So what you see, what you feel, what you can experience through your sense organs are known as gross prapancha. But that seeing activity is known as antara prapancha. Therefore, buddhi, which is the main body of an individual. We think I am in the sharira. No, you are not in the sharira, you are in the buddhi. Therefore, collective buddhi was created by Ishvara. That's what he said, buddhihi aham asmi. From me first buddhi is originated. Buddhi means intelligence or intellect aspects have been created first. It means what? World has got its own intellectual aspects. World is intellect. Every object has got buddhi. Because antara prapancham, every word has got, every word means every object has got inner system, antara prapancha. In that antara prapancha, the center is called buddhi. The center point is buddhi. The center point of the creation had created first in the beginning. In the buddhi you can find knowledge. The knowledge of what? Knowledge of vyavahara. Knowledge of self-understanding. The knowledge about other creature. Because of that system, that power which is called knowledge alone, we are able to survive. That knowledge brings the fear about myself, then that thinking about, that knowledge alone brings a fear about myself, fear about survival. That knowledge alone makes me to be careful with the world. By the knowledge alone, I plan for the future. By the knowledge alone, I could select my goal. By the knowledge alone, I could understand where I am. By knowledge alone, I can analyze where am I from, where I am going to go, what is going on. Every thinking capacity and all these things based on the knowledge, that knowledge exists in the buddhi is from me. If a person has got more knowledge than me, we need not to worry about it. That's not from him, that's from Ishvara. Every individual object, mountain has got its own buddhi and knowledge, river has got its own buddhi knowledge, and sun has got its own buddhi knowledge. And even, all this dead material, they do have buddhi and knowledge. Human being, we have to have buddhi and knowledge. Sometimes, you can understand. We could feel in some of the people, they are absent. But buddhi very much is available because they are not creating it. Ishvara has created. This is the Ishvara Srishti. My intellect is not created by me. It's created by Ishvara. You cannot find any defect. If a person is having wrong nature, that's not the defect of Ishvara. Then how can we understand that too is Ishvara? That's what karma phala is. So buddhi is from Ishvara. Knowledge is from Ishvara. Every word object should have the knowledge. That knowledge could be assimilated by the buddhi. Therefore, you can deal with any object. If you see the Jupiter, if you see all the planets on the sky, you can name and you can deal with them. And the next quality comes asammohaha, non-delusion. That too also in the buddhi alone. It's a special buddhi. The buddhi which is not veiled, the buddhi which is not deluded, the buddhi which has got proper knowledge, it cannot be deluded. The buddhi which has got wrong knowledge, it is deluded. Therefore, non-delusion is me. If a person has the clarity, Ishvara alone. The clarity also available in the world because Ishvara have created it. Therefore, we need not to cry, I am not a great soul, I am a normal person. For me, how this knowledge and all will be understood. Therefore, I will continue myself as a beginner of the spiritual follower. Need not to. Bhagavan has blessed, he has originated non-delusion. It is available in the world. Patanjali also says, if you want to become a matured person, you think about some other mature person, meditate upon him, you will get that glory in you. Okay? Then the next is Kshama. Kshama means patience. Not voluntarily enduring the things, patience. The patience is a quality which is Antra Prapancha, which exists in the Antra Prapancha. So all these things are felt and experienced in the buddhi. Therefore, buddhi becomes padhi, and all these things are known, are experienced there. Kshama, Satyaha. The Satyam means a truthfulness. The truth, being truthfulness, is Ishvara's glory. Because when you live your life with all these lies, will bring hell. The lies you bring well. Some of them, they don't worry. They lie for everything. And they also categorize. Is a small lie, is a big lie. Any small lie is lie. Truthfulness becomes Ishvara. Then Damaha. Damaha means sense control. Having control over the sense is the glory of Ishvara. Again, it is in the buddhi. Then Shamaha, mind control. Sukham means happiness, which has got proper knowledge, which is not deluded, which is endowed with Kshama, Satyam, Damaha, then Shamaha. Automatically it will become happy. But one more thing, God says, Dukkham also from me alone. The world has got Dukkham. Dukkham means the sadness, sorrow, that also is available in the world. It's because of my creation. Bhavaha and Abhavaha. So Bhavaha means the existence of the creatures, or we can understand birth of anything. coming into manifestation. Birth and death is nothing but from me. Bhayam cha abhayam cha, fear and non-fear, or we can say fearlessness is from me. These are all antara prapancham. Antara prapancham means inner words. These outer words are explained from next words. Next words means from verse number 6. Then ahimsa, samatha. Ahimsa means the finest quality among the human being is because of me, it's from me, non-violence. And samatha, equanimity, the equalness. All experiences are equalness. The subtle way, mentally we are equal in so many things. All minds, they experience sadness in the same way, happiness in the same way. Causes may vary, but happiness and sadness are same experience, similar experience they are. Sleep is similar, hunger, thirst, anger, and frustration, tension, stress, everything is similar, equanimity. And the system also equal. Then tushtihi, contentment, contentments from the spiritual aspects, contentment from the aspects of material aspects. Both are from me. Tapaha, danam, yashaha, ayashaha, these things we have seen already meaning. So this is the world of understanding from Ishvara, the world which is originated. So Antara Prapancha have been explained now. By understanding these two verses, what you should realize now, so Ishvara within us. So my body, mind and sense complex, especially my buddhi, is from Ishvara. Buddhi is the medium where I find myself. If the buddhi is deluded by ignorance, then it is also Ishvara. If I want to get rid of that ignorance, I should pray Ishvara. So Ishvara himself says, now you have to remember word by word, because these verses are the verses to contemplate. Just you can sit for the meditation, but without closing eyes. These meditation are known as open eye meditation. Or you cannot sit, you need not to sit in a place. Just let the day go with all the activities, but be with objectivity mind. Just objectify the things which are going inside and outside. All of them are Ishvara. You convert your perception towards your buddhi. You convert the perception towards others' buddhi, because every object has got the buddhi. Therefore, don't kick the tables. Don't kick anything unnecessarily. Don't waste your food. Food will just experience. It can understand you are wasting it. Don't think anything inferior than you, because everything is Ishvara. Your perception will change. The next level means the next words, we will read it. Maharshaya sapta purve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jataha yesham loka imah prajaha. Now, the sthula prapancha, how it is being created. The sthula prapancha, this is according to Ishvara, means according to our scriptural method. The science talks this world have been originated with a Big Bang theory. Now, here we have gradual growth. First, Brahmaji wanted to create the world. Brahmaji was originated from the navel of Mahavishnu. Then when Mahavishnu have become into being, he looked around, everywhere there is only darkness. He didn't find anybody, because already he has got 4 heads. 4 heads means what? You can see 4 directions, nobody was there, only darkness, because there is no Srishti. No Srishti like in our sleep. In the sleep, we only are, nothing is seen, everything is dark. In that way, Mahavishnu was requested by Brahmaji. Brahmaji said, nobody is there. What should I do? Then Mahavishnu gave the capacity to create the world. Then he created 4 people. Those 4 people you can find under Dakshinamurti deity. Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanatana. These 4 rishis were just created by our Brahmaji directly. But what happened? The creation didn't happen. So he sent them to Lord Shiva to learn some knowledge about the universe. When they received the knowledge, they were not like us, just they were able to connect with the supreme knowledge. They were taught both Shreyas and prayers. They were not able to come to the level of prayers. Prayers means into the Pravrti level. Pravrti level means what? I should have my own family. I should expand my family. I will get, so many power, money and all. No. In the beginning itself, they have understood Shreyas is the only marga. They started doing tapas. Then Brahmaji became pity. He started worrying. Then he created 7 rishis. This is how the Srishti begins. Then 7 rishis. After that, he created Manus, 14 Manus. That we will continuously explore from the next episode tomorrow. Harihi Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaja Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.